Sometimes it takes a second to transition. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Maybe. Oh, okay. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I think there's a pretty good delay today for some reason. So as soon as you hear me talk about the sound here, tell me if you can hear me. Yep, I'm guessing you can hear me because you haven't said you can't hear me. Yes, I was not prepared today. Make sure you guys. All right. All right, gotcha. Oh, already had some observant people with that picture asking why Sophia is repeating kindergarten. So, um, in the curriculum we use, we do it twice. So we do it. They go through it for kindergarten, and then we'll do it again before first grade if we think that they need to. She's actually really smart and doing very well, but being that it's all different now, she's still just 5, and even though she's like super advanced and a super good reader, we're gonna do it again this year. Go through the same program again, and that's the same thing. We do preschool the same way as kindergarten. Claudia is doing stuff with her too, although she's not doing it full blast. She's just going to do the pages she could do. She really wants to do some school, and so she's going to cut things out in color and just do the pages she can do, and then she'll repeat it again next year as well. So, yeah, I was not prepared in the slightest. See, our curriculum is very forgiving and nice to the kids who are responsible for a lot of their own work, and the parental involvement is you got to watch them and help them, and but it's not as intense as some other ones, except for the little ones. And my mom's going to be doing that pretty much exclusively. Amy has been coming, and she may help as well, but pretty much my mom's going to be doing the teaching to the little ones. But oh man, it's funny because I went through the training. You got to be an administrator or to be a supervisor for the ACE. I went down to Texas and took all the training that needed to do. And I did that with Andrea back when we first got married, and so I know how the system works. And I've run the Christian school. I ran the Christian school for a couple of years, and so I already knew kind of what to do and how to handle everything. But Andrea had streamlined the system, really, and got things in place better than the regular ACE materials would even do, and so. I remember we had the privileges, and we hadn't done privileges very strongly. They had them, but we had kind of slacked off a little on the privilege system. And I knew that was something, even before Andrea got sick, that I wanted to do again. And I just didn't know how I was going to do it. We have a demerit system, and if you get more than certain demerits in a day, usually 3, there's usually a detention, and I'd have to figure out what we're going to do for a detention. And if you get too many demerits, you can't get on a certain privilege level. For those of you not familiar with our system, we have a privilege system, A being the lowest, actually X being on no privilege, and then A being the lowest privilege, C the next privilege up, and then E is the greatest privilege. And if they get to E privilege, which they have to do a whole bunch of stuff, they have to do service projects, stuff for the family, they have to memorize Bible verses, do all their work, not get as many demerits. It's a big list. But if they get on E, they can pretty much stay up an extra hour later for bed, and they can play their computer or their games whenever they want to. Whereas otherwise they can't, if they're on X privilege, they can't play games at all, except for after Fridays towards the weekend. And then if they're on C, they can do it. I got to look at the thing again. C, they can do it after they finish their school or something. And E is you can just play whenever you want, but it's hard to get on E. Anyways, I'm setting it all up for, I did realize I didn't have the privilege system figured out, so I went to go print out a privilege deal. I actually wasn't sure exactly what to do, and that's kind of what started it. Is I already realized, oh crud, I don't have their goal charts. Their goal charts is they have to schedule how much they're going to do for the week. So at the very beginning of the week, usually today, we would decide, okay, this is how many pages we're going to do in English, this is how many pages we're going to do in social studies and math and all this, and they set it all out for the week. And then they have to write that all down. And so I was ready to print out a regular ACE standard goal chart. And then I realized, based on when Judah showed me his last year's goal chart, and it was this planner that was all every single week of the whole school year with all the birthdays. Everybody gets a birthday is a holiday here, so they get school off for their birthday. All the birthdays marked off, and it's got a privilege application, because before they had to apply for a privilege at the end of the week and say, okay, I've done this, I'm going to apply for the E privilege, and then I look at it and see the requirements and reject or approve if they get on E privilege. And she had this planner that had the privilege application integrated in it with all the goals for the whole week, whole year, and I didn't have those, and they had a cute little picture all laminated on the front, and I was like, uh-oh, I don't have that. And so then I started looking and realized, oh, I found them. I'm not sure what to do, so I watched Andrea's video on the privilege system, which actually is a really old video, and on how to do the privileges, and I was watching it and thinking that's how he did it, and that's before I realized that I was wrong. So I had to watch her video. That's what started it. I had to watch her video and let her teach me how to do it. Anyways, that was really hard. Really hard. I haven't really watched her whole videos because I can't do it. And then I watched that one. And I pretty much fell apart. And I didn't come to realize I didn't even have to watch it because the data is old. That's before she streamlined it to be really like it is today. And then I realized I found the save files for last year's planner that she did. And I needed to start changing the dates on them. And I had to go look at a calendar, and I had to see what days she was taking off. That's when I realized they took the birthdays off, and I had forgotten that. And plan it all out. And then I didn't have the 5x8 card. She printed it on, and I don't know how to use her binding machine. And I realized I'm not going to know what to do. So, but I know that the first day of school has always been pretty much a kickback fun day for them. It's getting them into the feel of sitting down and having a meeting and getting ready to do school. And so that's what we did. So we thankfully, Lori Ham, hey, you're the greatest. You made this whole first day of school. So I very much thank you for that. The whole box of school supplies, everything we needed, everything that I could have wanted to know if we needed was in there. And so we got them the new binders, and they all got to load their binders up with the things they wanted, and we printed out. I'll tell about that in a minute, but we got their little bags and put all their paces in them, all their workbooks and pencils and crayons and markers and scissors and all kinds of things. And I'm going to go back and read all these things coming up on the chat, by the way. I'll be able to watch it later. So the last live chat, I had to make an edit to it, and so that made the chat go away, but I will go back and read those. I'm not looking a lot right now. But anyways, I didn't have the 5x8 cards, and so that's what I decided. Okay, my mom was there, and Amy was there, her sister, and they were still going through getting the binders together and figuring out what they're going to do. And it's pretty much was going to be get the binder together day, because I realized I didn't have any of the stuff I needed to have done. They're actually printing up there now. I got to get them done by tomorrow. I got Thomas's ready to go, and but I didn't have the 5x8 cards, and so I had to go to Gillette, 30 miles away, to the Walmart or the Office Depot, and buy those. So I went and bought those, and I was feeling really sad. Watching Andrea's video just messed me up, and so I was having a pretty rotten day. And then I go to the Office Depot, get the 5x8 cards, and go. I was going to get another shot at getting Asher a coat. I went to go get Asher a coat. By the way, we did our fall shopping and our grocery shopping. And with Andrea, we always did them the same day. You can go back and watch those. And I could not do that. I could not. So it actually is going to be 2 shopping days, one after the other. So we left at like 9 o'clock, and I took Justus and Eden with me. and we started getting some of the regular non-grocery items we use for toothpaste and stuff. And I'm kind of rambling, but then we got all the clothes, and I was all over that Walmart a million times over. And we got there at like 9, and it was at 1 a.m. I decided this is way too past their bedtime, and I got to get them home. And so we just called it quits and went home. And I didn't get any of the groceries, so then I went back the next day and got the groceries. So that's going to be split up. They're all right. Eden was pretty tired the next day, but she did all right. But anyways, I tried to get a coat for Asher that night, but I got out to checkout and it had a rip in it. And then Bethany, Andrea's sister, went to Rapid City today and found a coat, and then it didn't fit him, so he grew too much and he needs a man's coat now. And so I want to go back to Walmart, look for men's coats. Yeah, she did make it look so easy. She certainly did. And it's funny because if I had stayed at Walmart, there's no way I would have absolutely caved on my 1 cart challenge. So I'm kind of happy that I didn't do it because I barely succeeded. I'm sure you guys will enjoy the video just with the groceries. And there's absolutely no way I could have done it 1 cart, which would have made me feel really bad after, as soon as Andrea dies, I can't do 1 cart anymore. But anyways, so I drive across the street to go to the Walmart, and I go I go out the right side where there used to be a Kmart there, and I see him putting up a sign. That's where the Hobby Lobby's going to be. And Andrea was so excited for the Hobby Lobby. And I didn't even think about it. It never even entered my mind. And she kept talking about it every week. Oh, I can't wait till the Hobby Lobby comes. Oh, I can't wait. There's going to be a Hobby Lobby. And Hobby Lobby's not even in yet. And she didn't get to see it. It matters. But that crushed me. Then that was like, oh, man. I was yelling at the Hobby Lobby sign. And wishing she could have seen it. So that made it worse again. Didn't find a coat. So I still got to get a coat for Asher. Another YouTuber or a YouTube person is sending jackets, the lighter jackets, in between, not super heavy but not super light, for I think of the boys, and that's great. That's going to be absolutely wonderful. That's a super big blessing. They're all going to match, so that's really, really great. So, anyways, that's pretty much where we've been. I've been pretty much a train wreck the whole day. I've been grouchy and short and trying to be nice and patient with the kids, and I'm just not. And doing pretty well. They're all in good spirits. It's not like I was yelling at them or anything, but it was hard, and I was feeling real panicky because I wanted to just get some stuff done. I wanted to get their goals set, and I didn't even have the goal charts. And I printed them, messed up a billion cards already. I'm glad I got an extra set of cards, but no, the kids didn't feel weird about starting school. The kids really are doing pretty well. For the binders, I decided they used to have a star chart. Whenever they finished a test, they put a star on them, and they have us on the front. And I'm not sure about how I'm going to do the star chart, or if they still do the star charts. It looks like they kind of stopped doing them after a while. I'd like to start doing it again, but until then, I was just going to put a picture on the front of their binder because Sophia was being sad, and not about Andrea, but just kind of grouchy and sad she didn't get a certain color of this or that. And so I thought, I'll print you out a picture for your thing. What do you want? I'll put any picture you want on the front of your binder. And then so she wanted a Rainbow Dash, My Little Pony. So I was like, no problem. So I printed out a picture of Rainbow Dash and put it in there. And then, of course, everybody wanted a picture. So I was like, all right, I'll put a picture on there for everybody. And I'm taking requests. And Claudia, I was like, what do you want, Claudia? Do you want, the My Little Pony? No. And she's just being Claudia, saying no to everything. And that's just how she is. And she was in that mood that didn't matter. I told her I'm going to dip it in chocolate and sugar, and she would still say no. But somebody said, do you want a picture of mommy? She said yes. So then I have to go find pictures of Andrea, print them out, and she was super excited. So I put that in there, and then Eden wanted a picture of mommy, and I wanted to do a different picture, so I had to find another picture of Andrea, and that was hard as well, and made the whole thing just difficult. But eventually, I got back, and we just called it on school, and we'll continue on tomorrow. And just we'll figure it out. But I wanted to go live and tell you guys. I thought maybe I'd do a video. I was like, this is so much easier. I don't have to edit it, and everybody's gonna want to know questions.
Jenna, come here.
Apparently, Claudia is calling Judah with Alexa. Alexa is getting abused here and there. We're gonna have to figure that out. But anyways, that's pretty much where we're at. I'm still printing out those planners. I got Thomas's ready to go. I learned how to use the binder. Saw the video from the manufacturer of the binding machine. It's different than the normal binding machine. It does these the small tight coils, just like you would use on like a spiral bound paper notebook you'd buy at the store. So they're really nice. Andrea was really proud of it. She hadn't had it that long.
Come here, right now.
Stop playing with the Alexa. My luck. She'll broadcast something.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
She'll broadcast something that's, I don't know about inappropriate or nothing. She's not capable of being inappropriate, but something I'd rather not have on the live stream. So, well, yep. So that's pretty much where we're at. Like I said, I have the shopping video. I'm sure you guys will love it, and it was fun having Eden and Justus, but by I was from 9 to 1, so what is that, 10, 11, 12, 1, 4 hours, and by hour 3, I've been in the same aisle 10 separate times, and to another aisle on the other side of the store 10 separate times, back and forth. If there was a little star map of where I went on Walmart, it was all over the place, multiple times. I didn't know where anything was. I'm sure you guys are all aware, but, girl coats are in one place and boy coats are in another place. Men coats are in somewhere else. And I don't know if Asher's a boy or a man. And, apparently he's a man in coats, but he's a boy in other things. And, other kids are the same way. And I didn't know where nothing was and couldn't find anything and didn't even know if they were out. I wandered around for 30 minutes looking for snow gloves until it's late at night. At Walmart, there's not a lot of employees around in the middle when it's late, and I couldn't find anybody to help. And finally, someone said, "Oh, I don't know if they're out yet." And they looked all around with me, and there was no gloves out, so I still need to work on some snow gloves. But anyways, it was very challenging. And Justus is a kind of mischievous, fun, sweet boy, and Eden is a really quiet, reserved, but enjoys silliness as well. And you get them together, and boy, they just feed each other, and it was just man, what a combo. It was, they're joking about everything, laughing, they're pushing the cart half the time, and then I turn around, I don't know where the cart is, and now I'm wandering all around Walmart looking for our cart, and then I don't know where they are. They're hiding in the clothes, and I can't find them. They can't hear me, and it was a challenge. It was fun. But it was a challenge, and I'm sure you guys would get a big kick out of it. And then the following night, getting groceries, I took Thomas with me because our van was in the shop. That was the other thing. Van was in the shop. It was having some weird noises and not working right, and I'd kind of decided if it was going to be close to $2,500, $3,000, we were going to buy a new van, take some of the GoFundMe money, and just get a new used van. But it wasn't. It was like $1,200. And it had a whole shopping list of things needed done. Anyways, we didn't have the van. It was all going to be all this stuff in my little red car with 2 kids, and it's quite entertaining. But the next day the van was done, and so I took Thomas with me because he can drive. So we drove down there, and he drove my car home and shopped with me. And if you guys have been following our Myers-Briggs adventures, I'm an INTJ. He's an INTJ. The reason why I like to stack the cart just perfect is I want to find the most efficient way to stack the groceries. And of course, he's an INTJ too, and the only enemy of one INTJ is another INTJ. And I say this is the most efficient way to stack the cart, and he says this is the most efficient way to stack the cart. And we had the worst cart that I've ever had. Stuff was sliding off the top, falling off. I was like, this cart is a picture of my life right now, completely disorganized and falling apart. And people are going to think, see, look what Andrea did for you. You had perfect organized Tetris carts, and now it's my worst, most disorganized cart. But it was still entertaining, and it was fun, and I enjoyed going with Thomas, and it was great. But yeah, Eden and Justus are best friends. We've got little cliques even on our own family, and Judah and Asher are good friends, and Eden and Justus, and Solomon and Sophia and Claudia's frenemies with everybody. And so if you're not familiar with INTJ, the Myers-Briggs things, it's just a type of personality, and the INTJ is they call them the mastermind because they have to figure everything out and be very precise and efficient. And anyways, we're just that type, nerdy type, I guess. And so we all are, and we struggle with arrogance. I think all INTJs do. And so we all think we know the best way to do it. And he thought he knew the best way to do it. And I thought I knew the best way to do it. Not to mention, we were buying stuff we never would have bought before. I was standing at a blank at the Ziploc bags because I couldn't figure out what the heck Ziploc bag we bought, and I don't know how to find out what Ziploc bag we bought. And so, anyways, we bought all kinds of stuff we never would have bought in a million years. Way more convenience food and things that we need to get to adjust and figure things out. But you'll enjoy it. Yeah, I don't know that the Walmart pickup would really help us, and plus it's nice to get out. And I want to have intimate control over what's happening, and the kids get to go out and have a special time with Dad, and plus it's our traditions, and for me, staying with our family traditions that's holding me together right now. If I didn't have that, I'd be lost. So we're gonna just keep doing it the way we have been doing it. Yeah, I'm sure she was watching us. It was really nice, but. Yeah, Claudia is frenemies with everybody. Everybody loves her, and then she hates them, and they annoy her, and it's she's back and forth with everything. So, but she's super cute still. She's awesome. I don't mean to say she's not, but so mostly not a terrible first day of school in reality. It was about what I was going to do anyways, but I would have liked to have got through their goals and their goal charts and set all their goals for the week. That didn't happen. But if I can get all the things printed out, we'll set them for tomorrow. Mostly it was a really tough day emotionally. It was just really hard. And it's funny because the last few days I was thinking, I'm going to be fine now. I'm going to be good. But I wasn't good. So yeah, we still had pizza night. I haven't made pizza in forever, and I really wish that I did. I feel like I want to do that to feel back into the swing of things, but we're still on this meal train thing. So people bring pizza on Thursdays, and we did our Naruto night, and that was enjoyable, but not quite the same as making my own pizza. So, which is the most easygoing of our kids? I'm tempted to say Asher, but I wouldn't call it easygoing. He's the easiest to deal with. He's very responsible and takes care of everything. But I wouldn't call him easygoing. I guess it depends on how you're going at it. Which one's the easiest to deal with and manage? Definitely Asher. But if you're talking about just, hey, Mon, we're not doing anything. We're just going to, relax and have fun all day. That would be Justus, most likely. Well, hey, this is How We Rock. How's it going, guys? I was just thinking about you guys the other day, and how glad I was that you guys showed up that time, because if you didn't, you never would have got to meet her. So I was grateful that you did. But meal train is just a whole bunch of people signing up to bring us dinners every night. We haven't had to Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Oh my gosh. Sorry. It's an alarm. It must be bath time for Justus. Meal train is just people signing up to bring us dinners. Alexa, stop. Good grief. INTJs unite. Yep. Yeah, I do want to make pizza, but at the same time, people want to help, and I know it helps them as much as it helps us. And someone had told me that I feel bad. Everybody's sending me all this stuff, and it's like, I didn't know. I really appreciated, boy. I opened that box of supplies from Lori. I was like, man, this was so great. And it's like, what about mechanical pencils, Dad? You don't have mechanical pencils. And I was like, I don't know. Oh, look, here's a whole box of mechanical pencils in all the kids' colors. I was like, there you go, mechanical pencils. And I was like a hero. And I would never have thought those things to begin with. She had to have watched every second of one of the videos and found everything that she bought and probably bought it all. And it was just amazing. I still have not seen Grandma Fern. The meal train has been a blessing and also really hard because I can't really go anywhere. I talked to Mona today, which is Andrea's aunt, who was her mom's sister, and she was over and was talking about how she was doing, and she says, yeah, she'd really like to see you guys, and if you have time, and I haven't had time for anything, and with the meal train too, it's just been so difficult, but we're going to go see her very soon, and you guys will get to see her, get to talk to her. We'll definitely put some Grandma Fern up there. I feel terrible that I haven't got to see her, because I do want to see her and to comfort her and to be there, and it's just been a roller coaster. I don't know if you're talking to me, but yes, I do watch Judah's channel. I watch all his videos. Yeah, we should visit Grandma Fern during the day, but I'm still working full time too, and so it's difficult. We appreciate all your guys' prayers and everything you've done for us and sent, and this would be so much harder if we were just some family nobody knew of, or we didn't have you guys. It would just be a bunch of sadness, and would still have sadness now, but having you guys out there, it super helps. It's helped me a ton. I felt immensely better talking to you guys. The last video, it helped me a lot. I felt good for like 2 days after that, and so I certainly appreciate it. Oh, the arcade actually got a whole bunch of games in it. It's got thousands of different games on it. I bought that at the old arcade back where I used to go at James Games in California, in Montclair. So I could call her. I could call Grandma Fern. Yeah, and come to think of it, she used to always call, and I guess she hasn't called either. I probably should call her, but man, the delay must be long. I think tonight. I'm not sure how that's decided, but yeah, Solly's video was really cute. Yeah, Andrea is still hooking me up after death. I mean, all you guys, the whole channel. Not only do I have record of all the things she does and how to do them, I got videos so you can comfort me and talk to me that someday I'll watch. I have a video I took, and haven't wanted to watch it yet, but we used to always watch Friends together, and Friends it's not a super appropriate. It's kind of adult themes, and it's got a lot of stuff we're not, no one's proud of, but it's also really fun, and we enjoyed watching it together. And one time, for no apparent reason, she made her chicken Alfredo that she loved to make, and I just sat there and recorded her a video of her eating her chicken Alfredo, just watching the Friends episode. And I kept thinking she was going to look over at me and see me doing it and say, "Oh, Tommy, what are you doing?" And that's kind of what I was going for, I think, at the time. But 10 minutes of doing it, I was like, man, she's not noticing me. And I ended up going the whole episode. And she just sat there and was doing her own thing, laughing when she wanted to laugh and eating, and it's great. And I thought to myself that if she ever died, I could set it back up and put that Friends on and put a screen there and play it, and pretend she's eating with me. And I keep thinking about that video and wanting to watch it, but I haven't been able to have the strength to do it. And I have so many videos that she did, but she set me up with all you guys, with our whole family. We've met so many people we never would have met otherwise. And of course, the GoFundMe has given us money to pay all the bills, and it's been a big blessing. And the kids are going to be able to get to see her as they grow up, and Hannah will know, or at least know what she believes, knows what she stands for, knows the things she cared about in life and what was important to her. And it's everything. It's a legacy, and it's wonderful. So I do still have a talking video, a chatting video to upload of hers. It's really old, and she never thought of the time to upload it, but I don't think she was going to upload it. So, but it's years old. But you'll have one more chat video at one point. It's on our family tree, and everybody always asks, well, who's Papa Gary, and who's Papa Doug, and who's Grandma Kitty, and how are they related, and anyway, she wanted to do a video on the family tree, and so she just did a video of talking about all the different parts of the family and how they're all related and who they're all related to. And I think I saw her changing Claudia, so that's about how long ago it was. But you'll get to see that here someday. So, how's Andrea's father doing? He's doing pretty good. I haven't seen him the last couple days. I saw him Taco Tuesday, so that was nice. He's doing good. He wears his emotions on his sleeves. When Ivana and Andrea's mom died, he was a really depressed guy for about 2 years. And Andrea's died, and he's very sad, but I can tell it's not near as bad as it was when she died. Either he's learned how to cope, or I think that's it. He's learning how to deal with this sort of a thing, and you pretty much put in any video of anything. He said he tried to watch, man, I don't know why I left that up, but the live video I did where I was talking to you guys and you helped me, he tried to watch that, and my mom's watched it, and everybody's watched it. It's super embarrassing, but he says he couldn't watch it. He ended up crying his eyes out just a little ways in. So he still cries every time anything about Andrea comes on the screen or whatever. But he's doing good. Honestly, I think everybody's actually really doing pretty good, except for me. And I'm doing good sometimes, or rather just okay. But Christmas wish list. Well, I would post a Christmas wish list, but you might not believe this, but our kids don't wish for anything. We don't have TV, and so they don't really ever know what they're missing. Every once in a while, they'll give me a hint of something to buy, but buying presents has always been difficult. And so I may get something together, but heck, if I think of a good present for them, I'm going to take that for myself. But we'll see if we can pass stuff on to you guys. Andrea always liked to do one outdoor thing, so that's what I'm going to have to be thinking about. The kids all remember the stories of Christmas. The Christmas they caught me putting up a zip line, and I told them it was a clothesline to hang clothes, and they said, "Oh, you putting a clothesline for mommy for Christmas?" Yep, it's a clothesline for mommy, and they didn't realize on Christmas Day that it was a zip line. And I told them the tetherball pole was some sort of a sprinkler system. That was a Christmas one. And the jungle gym was a Christmas present. Me and Andrea carried that out in the snow, built it in the middle of the night. And the little merry-go-round thing, the teeter-go-round we got. There's always, for Christmas, we always do something outdoor for the kids. So I want to be thinking about that and what we can do for that. I want to keep that going. Yeah, she was so creative. That's the part. And see, I can be creative. I totally can. But if you heard me say last time the waffles and spaghetti analogy, when I'm in my creative box, I can sit there and be super creative, but I'm forgetting everything else in all of life. Where Andrea could be like just doing her thing, being creative, and thinking of good gifts while she's doing other things. And if I sat down to think of gifts, give me an hour, I'll come down with good gifts, but I'm doing other things, and I'm not in that waffle square at the time, and so it becomes harder for me to figure it out. I go with my notes, and so I'm here to think of some random thing while I'm driving to a job, and so I'm going to think about. I thought about getting a merry-go-round. Merry-go-rounds are awesome, and they're dying in our country. merry-go-rounds aren't safe, and so you'd be hard-pressed to find a merry-go-round. We still got one up here at our park, which we're super excited about, but I thought about maybe getting a merry-go-round. We saw this swing thing I think it was in Buffalo at the park, and it was actually a tire swing. You've seen tire swings, but it was a tire swing that, on 3 pieces of wood. So there was a piece of wood, 3 pieces, and each one had a tire swing, and it spun. And on that set of 3 tire swings, it had a big long pole on a pulley in the middle, or on a swivel in the middle, and 3 more on the other side. So they all spun, and while they're spinning, they spin in circles. And Andrea thought it was just the awesomest thing. And she asked me over and over again if I could build one. And I was like, man, I don't know what kind of bearing that is. That's got to be an industrial bearing, so I got to figure it out. And but I keep thinking maybe I can figure that out. I go back and look at that thing. That's definitely a custom deal. It's not like you can order that. But I'm not sure I could pull it off. Or even if we had the room, it's giant. So I don't know what, but we'll figure it out. Miniature golf course, that would be fun. They would love that. We got a sprinkler system though. Sprinkler system is a monkey wrench and all kinds of things that I want to do in the yard. Every time we got to go digging, we got pipes all over the place. But yeah, the Halloween costumes, yes. I'm confident about the Halloween costume because I built the Halloween costumes several years anyways. Of course, there's lots of years Andrea sewed them all. But like we did a Minecraft one, I did all the Minecraft, built all the Minecraft helmets, and we did the Lego guys one, and I did all those too. So I can handle the Lego costumes, but I got to think of something good, and I got so many people putting pressure, everybody has a suggestion, but I know Andrea, and I know the kind of things she would come up with, and it's got to be creative and cute and super novel, and the Andrea's sisters have suggested Flintstones and dress up like all the different Flintstones, and while that is super cute, Andrew would never have done Flintstones. So I got to figure out something soon, and then can make a plan on how to do it. And I'm leaning towards something that's not going to be too difficult because I just don't have the energy for it right now. But yeah, Buffalo's not that far away. I could definitely go there and look it up. I drew it all out one time because I was going to really tackle figuring out how to do it. But the bearings, there got to be some crazy industrial bearings. I don't know that I can come up with that. And my welding skills are wussy to begin with. I can weld, but not awesomely. But I have lots of other people I'm sure who could in town that could weld for me. So that was just a thought. The other party thinks I could just order a merry-go-round, and there you go, merry-go-round. Andrew always wanted to have a merry-go-round. That was one of the things we wanted to get. That was kind of why we got the teeter-go-round, which is like a seesaw that spins, and the seats have fallen off that thing, and it'd be nice to just replace it with a merry-go-round right where it's at. That'd be great. The other part of me worries about my older boys getting too crazy on the merry-go-round and getting someone hurt. So, I am all for unsafe, awesome toys in the yard, but also a little bit not, I suppose. But I still think a merry-go-round would be a way to go. Just couldn't be a really big one, maybe. So I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, I might just order a merry-go-round because that'd be easy. If there's just a kit I can order, bam, I can just order that, cement it in, done. And I don't gotta figure out how to build that thing. Thought about redoing the swing set. The swing set we have that I built is made of wood, and it's not going to last for forever. And there's only 3, and we already have lines for the swings, so it'd be nice to have more swings. So that's another possibility. Yeah, well, it all depends on who's pushing the merry-go-round. You keep the merry-go-round on 12 and under, no problem. But you can't do that. I can't do that. I have to push the merry-go-round. When we go to the park, I have to push it. I have to push it as fast as I can. But of course, I always make sure the big kids are on it, right? It's always, Asher and Judah that want me to push them really fast, and so But of course, he's going around. And actually, this last trip, we went going to the park a lot lately just to get the kids out, and I went to go push it. I was going to do that and push it really hard, and I didn't realize that Claudia was trying to help me push, and I did not even see her. And I started pushing real fast, and she just whoa, and just launched across, and she was totally fine. It was in the grass, but. So you got to be. It's too much of a temptation for a guy to not say, "I wonder how fast I can get that spinning." And so, yeah. Every guy is a kid at heart. That's for sure. Disney is too expensive. I don't know about a free Disney trip, but Disney is way too expensive. It depends on who's pushing the merry-go-rounds. The little kids, you can get it so fast that they just can't stay on. So I always make them straddle the pole so they can hold on. But buy the girls a pony. There you go. Yeah, that's not what we got room for. I'm absolutely sure merry-go-rounds are expensive. Absolutely sure. But if if I just did like a merry-go-round and then one personalized gift for them, Andrew always loved to make things for them on Christmas, and I know I'm not going to be able to do that. There's been things I've made for him in the past, rubber band guns and swords and shields and all kinds of stuff, and I'm still trying. I can't put myself back together yet, and I'm being there for my kids, and I'm being a good dad, but I am not ambitious right now. I'm not ambitious, and we're eating more ramen noodles and Pop Tarts than we probably ever ate before. But you know what? They'll be fine, and we'll get back into the swing of other things eventually. But I don't have any ambition, so I'm hoping to find. I'm going to be probably buying the gifts, and I'll maybe do more homemade gifts in the future. But I just got to get through whatever this is I'm going through and figure it out. We used to live in Southern California, and so I'm very familiar with Disneyland prices, and that's why we always go to Knott's Berry Farm. It's a fourth of the cost. So, not that we even need to do that. Our kids would always have fun doing those types of things, but we're getting ready to start school again, and it's probably not a good time to do it. And so. You lost your father at 11. She's 11-year-old self in Eden. Yeah, I'm sure. I would love to create an Amazon list, but again, like I told you, our kids don't ask for things. They just don't ask for things. They don't ever say, "Dad, there's the new blah 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 blah." They don't. That doesn't happen. It doesn't come out of their mouth. Christmas comes every year and has for 15 years, and none of them ever ask for anything. So we always, and I actually like it that way. It's nice because then they're really surprised. And there's been a couple times, maybe where I think Diablo 3 came out. I think Judah wanted Diablo 3, but very, very seldom did they ever ask for anything for their birthdays or for Christmas, either one. And so it becomes I had always started a thing where I would hear Andrea say something throughout the year, and I live by lists, and so I'd heard her say, and I still have the list. I gotta read it. I've been keeping track of this list of gifts for Andrea my whole life, and I'd hear her mention something just in her life, and I'd write it down, and it'd be like in February, and then I'd get it to her for Christmas, and she'd, "Oh my gosh, how did you know that I wanted that?" Anyways, it started. What was the first thing on the list? Juicy fruit gum. That was the first thing on my list because she'd always told me her grandpa used to give her juicy fruit, and it was a good memory for her. And I think I've gotten her nearly everything on this list. It's a very long list, but that's how we kind of do it, and it means more that way. And the same for the kids. I try to listen and hear them talk about something throughout the year, and then I write it down, and then we can get it for them. But I've kind of slacked off on that. But I do have a list of clothing sizes for the kids, and it's nearly perfect. I got Eden's pant size wrong, so if anybody who has sizes made size 16 pants for Eden, I don't know what I was thinking. And it's ironic because I found an old one. I found an old fall shopping list that Andrea had written in for last year, and it had all the kids' sizes on it. Of course, they're a year behind, but I do have a list of sizes, and so they're actually in the description of this video. There should be a list of sizes for shirts, so you should be able to click that and see that if you want to do that. And another lady is sending brown dresses for the girls because that was one of the dresses I had a hard time with. And then it hit me that I've had a lot of ladies ask me if they want to sew something. Can I make something? Can you tell me what pattern it is or what something? And then that hit me that would be such a special thing. And so I kind of decided maybe that's what we'll do is I'm still needing a few random dresses for random colors of all of our colors for the different girls, not all the same, but different ones. And I might just let anybody who wants to make some dresses for the girls, and I'll give you the sizes, and I can get their measurements if you want. And that would be super special because then you guys would see them when we have that on the videos on those days, and they all want to help. And honestly, it's hard finding the colors as it was. I'm having a hard time finding the colors of polo shirts for the boys, and much less modest girl dresses in rainbow colors. It's almost impossible. So I thought maybe that would be neat because I've had at least 3 or 4 different ladies say, what can I make for you? And I don't know what you can make, but maybe that would work. But so I think we'll do that, some sort of a sign-up sheet if you guys want to. And I just think that would be special too. I think Andrea would even like that. If Andrea didn't insist on making all the clothes herself, I mean, if she's looking down and wanting, I think she would think that was super awesome. Because then they could be a special piece of all you guys in our lives all put together. I think that's really fun. And so I think she would definitely approve of that idea. So, yeah, French toast. I've had a lot of people tell me about French toast, and apparently I look in the tags of what we have, and I don't know what it said French toast in the back end. For all I knew, that meant it was some French designer and it was super expensive. But apparently that's where you get all the good shirts. And so I found a pretty good selection. Walmart actually had a really good display of a wide range of colors of shirts and sizes. And so I got most of them done. I'm still having trouble with brown and black. A couple colors. And so I'll definitely go to French toast for the ones that were there. I'm doing better now. I've had pretty much a nightmare day today, but no, Asher's not an 1820. No, that's not incorrect. It's incorrect now. So as of today, that's incorrect. So we bought him a 18 jacket, and it was way too small. So there really isn't a 20 in kids. So pretty much a small in men's is what I'm thinking, but I haven't yet got a coat to try on him, so I can't even verify that for certain. So take that one with a grain of salt. But turn that off. Oh, the van is fine. The van is fine. So we have the GoFundMe money. Right now the bills are still crazy. We're still getting bills from hospitals and doctors and stuff, and the local hospital that we took her to here where she ended up passing away, they suffered a ransomware attack and shut the whole hospital down, and they had to transfer away all the patients, and it's been a big nightmare. And so getting bills out of that has been difficult, and I don't know how long it's going to be before we get all the bills there. And I still haven't seen very many bills from the other hospital in Denver yet, and so there's still a lot more coming in. So we do have, once our Samaritan Ministries covers all the bills, I'm paying the bills as we go with the GoFundMe money, and it's nearly gone, just paying bills. And once those are all reimbursed, they'll be reimbursed by our Samaritan Ministries. We'll have plenty of money to buy a van, so we don't. If you want to continue to donate, you can. The GoFundMe is still up. I'll put a link, but we have enough to get a van. Totally could buy a van, but I want to be frugal and smart with the money, and so that's going to just probably sit there for a while until we don't have any other choices, and then do something, because I want it to be. I'm not going to let having a little extra money change us or our life. So it's going to continue doing things the way we've always done them, And those months where maybe I don't sell or do as much computer business, we'll have that to supplement if we need to. And that is a huge weight off my shoulders. Huge. Because that's what I'm owed every day. I know I got to do at least 3 jobs a day and to pay my bills. And Andrea said that we should probably aim for 4 jobs a day. And so now I try to do 4 billable hours every day. That's my goal. And sometimes I don't get 4 billable hours every day. Sometimes I get 5 or 6 in one day. And it's nice to know that if I don't get what we need, that I can pull a little bit out of that, and that's going to be a nice savings for us, and that's probably where it's going to stay. But if we needed a van, I would absolutely buy a van, and it would be from all you guys in YouTube land, and it would be, the whole thing is a huge blessing to us. It's going to be more so after all these bills are long behind us, but I'm going to guess we're going to be dealing with bills for months and months. So race for the bills. No, that someone said they heard that Samaritan won't pay if money's been raised for the bills. No, they don't. They don't care. We've actually talked about it with them, and they don't care at all. That's not how it works. So there really isn't any problem. The GoFundMe money has been nothing but a blessing, apart from they were going to lower our bills at one hospital based on our yearly income, and this last one of the hospital in Gillette that ended up not giving us very many discounts. They were going to do like 100% off based on our income because we have 10 people in our family. Based on that, what our income is, they were going to give us a total 100% write-off of the bill, which was going to be great. But because of the GoFundMe money, I guess that counts as income, so now it didn't qualify. So, but that's the only downside that's ever happened, and that's not a downside because we do have the Samaritan Ministries, and they are going to cover it. So actually, we're going to start getting checks for a portion of them coming in next month in October. So it's nice. Medium in men's coat. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was at Walmart today looking at coats, and I kind of found one. I didn't have small, but they had medium, but it was also not super heavy. It wasn't. Basically, they need a jacket and they need a snowball fight coat. Those are the 2 different things. And so this one was not super heavy, and it was a Dickies coat that was kind of fabricy, and it's just going to absorb a bunch of water. I can picture Asher just getting all drenched in it, so didn't get it. But since someone on YouTube is sending us, and I wish I can remember her name now, is sending us those coats, that's going to be great. And so we'll get those and make sure they fit and stuff, and it goes right. So actually, now I think about it, I think I might have given out that 1820 for Asher too on that one. So I don't know how that'll work. Maybe we can still return it and get the right sizes if it doesn't fit. But we are monetizing the videos, so they are monetized right now. You probably saw an ad to get in here. Yeah, most of the again, the only reason why I care about the discounts is because Samaritan Ministries does have a $250,000 limit. So that's how much they'll reimburse you for on bills, which is a lot. But I know that the bill in Denver for just the hospital was $144,000, and they said the hospital in Denver said they're going to discount that 90%, and we'll only owe $14,000 for just that one bill, and that's just the hospital bill. We saw countless doctors and specialists and the OB team and anesthesiologists and other hospitals and the flights and all that stuff. And so if they do discount, the hospital comes through and they do discount at 90%, we'll be well under the $250,000 limit. But I will believe it when I see it. I'm always a bit pessimistic and skeptical about things like that. So I'm trying to get as many discounts as I can to keep that limit down as far as possible. Men's sizes. Shelly, was that you that sent that was going to send the jackets? Thank you. That's absolutely wonderful. That was one of the things I did find on Andrea's notes, all that sizes for 1 or 2 years in the future. So that's how she always ordered them, and so ordered big, which is always nice. So yeah, it's a real big blessing, and I've been able to keep that limit down because of the GoFundMe money exclusively, because the hospital in Gillette, there's no discounts at all unless you pay within 30 days. If you pay the full bill in 30 days, they give us 30% off, which is still a decent amount. So because of I had the GoFundMe money, I've been able to just pay those bills right when they come in, and then we'll get reimbursed by Samaritan Ministries and down the road. So there is a PayPal address. If you really want a PayPal address, we can send that to you. The GoFundMe doesn't take any money though. They don't take a penny. As long as it's to an individual and it is set up under individual under my name, then they don't take any money at all. They only charge transaction fees, which PayPal charges transaction fees too. So if you want to send it PayPal, I can definitely give you an address. You can actually find it if you go to Andrea's blog. But either way, the GoFundMe doesn't take anything at all. So if you want to send money, that's probably the best way. And I don't have to do anything. It just appears in my bank account, which is absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. And the biggest blessing out of this whole thing has been I haven't had to worry about money. And that's all I do worry about. That's my biggest thing in all of life is I've always worried about money. And that's just my hang up. And I really am glad that God has taken that worry from me with you guys. So I'm very, very grateful. She did not have a Christmas list, I can tell you. She wouldn't have had a Christmas list. We are a bit procrastinators in that regard, and even more so since she had been sick for the 3 months. Her whole life was pretty much put on hold. The GoFundMe, is that what you're saying? Link? Yeah, I'll put it on there. Let's see here. All right, so I put it there in the chat, and the live chat won't go away this time. It'll stay there because I'm not anticipating having to edit out anything. Will you be doing an addition onto your house? Well, let me show you what I found. Hold on here. I think it's trying to come downstairs, guys. Andrea was always dreaming about our house, and I found this. It's a little map. She would always be graphing out stuff. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is what she had planned for the future for our house, and it would be so awesome if we do this. So I thought about using the money for this, but she wants to put a whole addition over here that looks like it's about the size of our whole house off to the side here, and she says it's a living room addition. That's where she imagined all of our millions of grandkids coming over and this right here, anyways. And she's got a patio here. It says a fountain here, and she's got a woodworking shed. I'm sure she's thinking about Judah and some tiny houses. So I don't know what this is. Chickens, which she always wanted to have chickens, but we're still not allowed to have chickens. Anyways, I found this, and I thought it would be fun to do that, but I don't know if I would or not. We do have some life insurance money, so I thought about maybe we could do that. If we do it ourselves, we could probably keep the cost down. So that's an idea. The other thought is, I worry about money, and so I worry about what's going to happen when I get old. Nobody wants an 80-year-old man fixing their computer, let me tell you. So part of me thinks about putting it in an IRA. I have an IRA, but it hardly has anything in it. Putting some in there for retirement. So I'm not really sure. We're not going to make any rash decisions about the money. So we're going to just sit on it and pray about it and see what's the wisest, most efficient thing to do with it. So it's stuff like this that made Andrea who she was. You know how much work this was? She had to get a picture probably from Google Maps, and put little circles over everything and get it all ironed out. She'd frequently wake up in the middle of the night and say, I had this great dream where I discovered a whole new wing of our house. I didn't even know it was there. And she always discovered a new room, and she'd always have a dream that we'd had some special room and had this and that, and she's loved decorating and planning out how to do things with our room, which is why we have all the videos you have about how we organize things, because she wasn't going to get any more space out of this house, so she tried to figure out, she'd always dream about how to use the space we had in a better way. No, we don't have any insurance, but we have Samaritan Ministries, which I think is better, honestly. It's pretty nice. But yeah, the kids are all a little sad, and they have times that they think about mommy, but I lost my dad when I was 10, and I know what it's like, and I know how I felt, and I know how I managed, and I'm not worried about any of the kids. So if any of you are worried, I'm not worried, and I know what to look for if they were worried. We were worried about my sister at the time because she didn't cry at all and was not sad, but she did later. Anyways, I know what to look for, and I think they're all doing just fine. So I think it's Guy's curse to worry about money, I think. So at least it is mine. But I haven't had to worry about money. This is the least I've worried about money my entire life. It's a miracle. It's wonderful. And God probably did that because, I'd probably go crazy if I had to worry about all that stuff too. Just the thought of taking that extra Thursday mornings off that I'm going to be taking off for school freaked me out. But much less now. So yeah. That's the stuff that gets me. The video Hannah you posted broke me. That's the kind of stuff. Even though Hannah's fine, she's probably the best of all of us. And you guys who don't know what we're talking about, I'll be posting that video. It'll be in one of the vlogs sometime soon. I have a lot of video footage to go through. But with school, it was getting ready to come up. I haven't been doing nothing but getting ready for this. But after a week or so, I'll start putting much more videos out much more frequently. I have a lot of videos to get out. Not only old ones, but even more recent. I've got a lot of footage to go through. So, yeah, second bathroom. Oh yeah, that's high on the list. So there's a million ways I could spend the money, but we been wanting to build a bathroom down here for a long time. But the pipes we have are cast iron pipes. It's an old house from the 40s, and they've got some problems that need to be redone. So we have some serious plumbing that needs to be taken care of. I had a quote one time. The guy said, if you cut all this concrete and dig it all out, he would fix all the problems for $300. So that's nothing. So I'd be happy to do that. But it was all involving me cutting all the concrete and digging it all out. And now I'm just thinking I'm just going to pay somebody to just fix it. Because once that's done, I can add on another bathroom. That's been big. But it's always been a point of pride, and it was for Andrea and it is for me too, that we have one bathroom and 10 people, or 11 people. Now we have 10 people. And we make do just fine. Sometimes there's a little kid going to the bathroom while you're taking a shower, but it works out just fine. And it makes us appreciate every second and everything we do have. But a second bathroom is in our future. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. The Walmart trip with the clothes, I said it was 1 o'clock when we were getting out of there. And I had a giant cart of clothes and 2 kids with me. And we go to check out, and there's no cashiers, none. The only cashiers open is self-checkout. And I was like, oh my gosh, and they're all clothes, right? And they all got hangers, and I don't know. I barely know what to do to buy the clothes. I'm not checking them out, but I go to check out, and there's a lady watching me like, she said, sure, I'm going to just run. Like here's this big thief with a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old or 12-year-old. But anyway, she's watching me, and which is fine. And then I go to pay, and I was like, I'm having trouble using these gift cards. And she says, which gift cards? And I was like, and I did this fan of like 5 gift cards. And she's looking at me like, you're obviously a thief. You just grabbed a handful of gift cards off that thing over there. You're going to try to use them now. And it was kind of funny. So But it was great. It was $600 something bucks for the clothes, and then all the household items that weren't groceries. And so then I'm just swiping, and every one I swipe is $100 off, $100 off, got down to like $300 left, and it was a miracle. It was great. So we don't have a lot of stores around here. Walmart's the big one, and we're very blessed to have the Walmart. So we don't have any Costco or Sam's Club or Aldi's or all those other things, or Whole Foods or any of that stuff. We don't have any of that. So. Yeah, I know. That's always been my idea too. Like, I don't self checkout. I appreciate how fast it is. I can be faster than everybody, but it was the principle. Like, hey, we're coming to your store and you're supposed to check us out. You want to check ourselves out? And but who cares? It's whatever. God is caring for us. Really, this could be so much a way worse story than it ever could have been otherwise. So, no Trader Joe's. Yeah, we do have a small house, so we're real careful about what we do get for the kids, and it's got to be something good, or maybe they got to get rid of something before they can get something else. And honestly, it helps them to appreciate things more. And I've told the story before of there's a kid that has just a wagon. His only toy in the world is a wagon, and he loves that wagon. It's his favorite wagon. It's a tank. It's a shield. It's a bunker. It's a car. It's everything to him, and he takes care of it and he watches after it. And he makes sure he's put it away, and it's his favorite thing in life. But after you have a whole bunch of toys, what happens? They get left outside. They're not cared for. That's just the nature of things. The more you have, the less you care what you do have. And so we're very careful about having too much. And, we have a small house anyways. And so we've always impressed that upon our kids. And so we don't keep things around needlessly. Andrea was big on the KonMari method. If it doesn't give you joy, you don't need to keep it around. And it's a hard question to answer about things sometimes. But I did get something that I'm really excited about. You guys probably, most of you know, I don't know, a lot of you might know that for one of the reasons why our kids don't ask for anything, I hear that a lot. Like, I get a note that says, you guys go to the store and your kids don't beg for things. And how do you make them do that? And I said, we don't make them do that. We just never buy them anything. We give them ample opportunity to earn money. They have lots of opportunity to earn money. And if they buy their own stuff, and then if they ever want something, we'll say, do you have money for that? No. Well, I guess you can't buy it. Better save up then. And that's always our answer. And so we pay our kids by the minute. So we have time clocks. We have a time card, and they write down when they start their chores and when they finish their chores, and we pay them by the minute. And usually the first people's reaction to that is, well, they're just going to try to game the system, and they'll just sit there and go real slow and waste all their time, and so you have to pay them a lot. And it's like, and we pay them like a nickel a minute or 4 cents a minute, and we give them raises and dock their pay if they're doing bad or good. But I always ask them if they want to try and beat the system by scrubbing the floors for an hour straight, and I got to pay them $1. Well, then you know what? Knock yourself out. Here's your $1. And they're not beating the system if they do chores for a really long time if they're working. So, that's totally fine by us. But we decided to up our game. That was one of the things I wanted to do when Andrea was alive. So we got a real time punch card clock. I'm super excited about it. I got to program it. But they can even the little kids can put their card in there, and it punches them in, and it punches them out, and it calculates how much time they worked. And I just got to look at it and pay them. I'm super excited about it, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Should be fun. What time will be coming up on? I can sit here and talk forever. But yeah, that should be neat to be able to have them clock out, even the little kids, because half of them can't read their time card anyways. So, should be a lot of fun. Yeah, I do know about the mid-roll ads, but I I wasn't super wild about even putting ads to begin with, and so I don't want to be an annoying ad every 5 seconds. We do have some videos that are 40 minutes or hour and a half sometimes. Even have 2-hour videos out there. So I thought about putting some mid-roll ads, and that may happen someday, but I'm not super wild about it at this point, but we'll see. Absolutely. I can tell you, as somebody who had his college mostly paid for, my grandfather, when he passed away, he had a ranch in Oregon, and on my dad's side, and he had a trust that said that if he passes away, all the grandkids get to go, all expenses paid to any college they want. And so the first part of my college was all paid for. And at some point down the road, the guy was kind of a shyster, and he stopped paying everybody, and he just cut everybody off, and I don't know what he did with it. But anyways, I got part of my school paid for. First half, 60-70% of my school was all paid for, and there was lots of times I took classes over. When I was first really young, I didn't try very hard at all. But after it quit, I had to pay my own way, and it was very hard and very. I spaced my degree out for a long time. Me and Andrew were married before I got it, and I got straight A's after that, and I graduated summa cum laude and all straight A's, but that's because I was paying for it. I wasn't going to pay for it again. It was hard enough to come up with the money to begin with, and so I think all of our kids appreciate things more when they pay for themselves. Not that you can't pay for your kids for college. That's not what I mean. But you definitely tend to appreciate things more when you pay for yourself. So. Why don't you send the kids to a normal school? Because we think homeschooling is the most important thing in all of life. I'd quit my job before I sent my kids to a normal school. And it's totally fine if you do that. That's fine. That's just our personal opinions on it. That raising our kids is our responsibility, and I want to do it, and I need to do it, and I will do it. So that's not an option, even though obviously it would be a very practical option in our situation. So. Does Grandma Fern have a tablet? No, and I don't think she would ever touch one. So. I didn't see Debbie Omi's suggestion. She's wonderful. For the ads, I might do the mid-roll ad someday. That might happen. I have no idea how this. I'm not sure how much we're supposed to even talk about monetization. So I guess you can get in trouble discussing the ins and outs of monetization. So I'm not gonna really address it, but I'm aware of the opportunity to do mid-roll ads. So. I don't mean to go too hard on it. Everybody knows we homeschool, and I think we know why we do it, and we'll definitely keep talking about that sort of a thing. But I'd also know there's lots of good families that send their kid to public school. I went to a public school. I graduated from a public school. I turned out just fine, and so that's an okay option. You got to just do what you think is right for your family and what's best for you. This is just what we do, and it's very important to us. It's to us, me and Andrea. It's very important to us. What happened to your house? I don't get that one. It gets scary to send kids to school, sure. Yep. Plans for Thomas after high school. You guys probably, if you've been watching, you might know already, but we're not real big on pushing our kids to go to college. I wished I hadn't gone. I wish I had my $80,000 back, do it in a heartbeat. I have my degree hanging on my wall over there, and I like having it there, but it's just a very expensive piece of paper. Everything I know about computers was through experience and through learning, and just because I loved it. All I cared about when I was a kid was playing video games. And I had a little Atari 800 computer, and that's what I did. And you had to learn how to use it. So that's just something that I had a passion for. And so we're not real big on pushing the kids to go to college. Depending on what they want to be, they may have to go to college, and that's totally fine. But especially where we live, you can get very good jobs in Wyoming without going to college. And you know what? There's a lot of, Thomas really likes working at the grocery store. He loves it. He thinks he's gonna, work his way up the ladder, be the boss someday, and that's a goal of his. And there's nothing wrong with that. In this world we poo-poo on grocery checker outers and regular average job people, and there's no shame in that. Someone's got to do the groceries, and that's great, and that's how you can support your family. Then that's wonderful. The most important thing is to have a good walk with God, and I think we focus a lot of times too much on the Benjamins as far as what kind of job we got to get and what we got to do. And that's how I was raised. You got to go to college, and so I went to college, and I wish that I didn't. I wish I just had just on my experience alone, but I do have it, and depending on what they want to do, maybe they'll want to go someday. But is there a troll? There he is. Sorry about that, guys. And my kids, I told them I was going to make a video, but they didn't know I was living. So Thomas would be on there checking things out otherwise. Yep. Yeah. Just say his name if you see another one. So we got rid of him. Is any of the children going to work for the home business? I sure hope so. So our plan, like it was with Thomas, when he was learning to drive, he drove me to all my jobs, and then he would go in with me to the jobs, and I would teach him about fixing computers, and I love doing that. And we're planning on doing the same with Asher. I sure hope one of the kids takes my business at some point, because I got a good business, and I've got good repertoire, and I have a good reputation in the country, in the community, and it's a good business that can support a family of 10. And so I hope one of them take it. I hope it doesn't just die on the vine someday. But I like to think somebody will. But we'll see. All the big boys, Asher, Thomas, and Judah, all watch the shop when I'm not here. Thomas works, although he hasn't been kind of not working very much lately because all the stuff going on at home. He's been staying home and helping. And so Asher's been doing a lot of the managing the shop. And Judah's been doing stuff too, but we'll do software or hardware. I do both. So I do repair and software, networking, that kind of stuff, and then I sell custom computers and laptops and everything. I've got all kinds of retail stuff on the walls here that I sell. But, yeah, Asher could take his test anytime soon. It's just things started blowing up with Andrea, and he hasn't done it. Andrea gave him for his birthday last year. It was she bound him up all the test stuff he'd need to take and all the study material and practice tests he would need to learn. And he has all that, but it's just been too crazy to do it. But yeah, the 1 card challenge. I'm super glad that I split it up in 2 days. It would have been a total fail, and I would have felt so bad if I couldn't do 1 card, and it would not have gone. When you see the other video, it's just no way I could have done it. So, I used to build websites. I used to do websites, but as I got busier and busier, I started taking things away that were more hassle, less profit, and focusing on things that were easier, higher profit. And so, and it's the same way I used to drive really far. I would drive all the way to Wright, which is like 70 miles, 75 miles. But as I got more business and didn't need to go that far, now I've got it shrunk down. I generally go up a 30-mile radius. I go 50 a couple times. But Well, thank you, Simple Grace. That's great. Yeah, I talked about it. I haven't been doing websites in a while, and I feel it's one of those things. Computers is one of the things that you stay out of it for a long time, and you get lost. I still was good at Dreamweaver, so I could teach the kids Dreamweaver and I could do websites, but I don't know that they have necessarily a desire. So we were always very big on having low debt / no debt, and of course the holy grail is buying a house with cash, which is impossible. I always said it was impossible. Andrea always said it was not impossible. That's one of the things we like to debate often. And it's funny because Thomas takes after me, and it's like I don't know how you buy a house with just cash, because you have to live somewhere while you're working, and then you're renting. And if you're renting, you could be putting that money towards a mortgage, but maybe there is some benefit to renting first, and I don't know. So we go back and forth. Me and Andrew would argue about this all the time. We would debate this all the time. Asher is now of the mindset that he's going to live here until he can buy a house with cash. So Asher might be here a while. And Thomas came with my point of view that you pretty much can buy cash. You can probably save up and pay cash for everything except for the house. That's the one thing you can't. So that is what it is. We'd rather not go into debt to anybody ever and never have any debt. But that's a difficult situation. So it'll be interesting to see in the future how those two kids work it out, and see as the other ones, as they grow older, what they wanted to do. Yep, you could always build a house as you go. That's been one of the things we've talked about sometimes. This house we have here now, we paid $12,000 for it, and that was 20 years ago, and that was a good price even then. Yeah, it was $12,000, so which is pretty amazing. It was old, dilapidated. I wish I could find. There's a binder Andrea has somewhere with some photos that has a picture of the house, and the windows all broken out, walls caving in. It was in really bad shape. It had been on the market a very long time. I think they wanted $30,000 for it. And we were praying about it, and Andrea had this house picked out, long before we got married. And we said, well, let's just offer 12 and see what happens. And if they take it, we know that was God's will. And they were like, take it. It was like the next day, take it. So $12,000. And so we ended up getting a $25,000 loan to repair the house and build it and fix it. And pretty much blew that money. I got it livable and fixed the walls somewhat, supported the house rather. And then walls ended up having more problems down the road. The foundation had a lot of problems, and we had to have that fixed later on. So that was another $30,000 to dig the whole house out and pour a new foundation basically underneath the house. So that was a lot. That's why we have the mortgage we do now. But as soon as all this stuff calms down with the bills, we're going to be paying the house off. I think we owe less than 20 on it. So. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm from Southern California too. I was born and raised in Southern California. So yeah, it's funny because when we moved out here, we moved from Southern California. We were in Cucamonga, Altaloma actually, and my parents sold their house, and for the amount that they sold a regular house in California, they were able to get an amazing house here. You probably maybe you've seen some footage of Grandma Kitty's house. It's amazing. So that's the difference in prices. I mean, everything is cheaper here, which is incredible. So yeah, even 20 years ago, 12,000 was ridiculous. This is a small house, very small, and it had lots of problems, but we got it. That was what God's will was for us. Has Thomas started dating yet? Well, no, hasn't started dating yet. He does have a little pen pal that I'll just leave it at that. It helps me to talk to you guys. I had a rotten day all day. I wanted to go live at 1 o'clock, but I didn't feel like I should. I didn't feel better doing it in the evening time when everybody's kind of content and getting ready for bed. And so, but it's helped to talk to you guys. So my mom's doing very good. She's helping teaching. She's actually taking care of it, and she's stressing about it too much. Which, if you're still watching, Mom, I'm sure you were watching this a little bit, but don't stress out. You're a great teacher. You don't got to be a great teacher to use the curriculum we use. So you're going to be just fine. She told me she didn't sleep last night, which is hilarious. She's stressing that much about it because you guys saw Sophia doing school. That's pretty much all it is, and it's super easy and fun. So
I'm reminding you. It is time to go to bed.
It's time for bed, Alexa says. So, well, I like chatting with you guys too. It seems too easy to make a video and have therapy at the same time.
I'm reminding you.
Great.
It is time to go to bed.
Yeah, 12,000. It is pretty amazing. I'm blown away by it. It's one of my points of pride. You know, that's a ridiculous price for a house. So, yep, I do have an older daughter, Melina, and she's great. But she lives in Gillette, which is actually lives about 45 minutes away. We get to see her more these days, which is great. We see her probably once a week now, and I talk to her on text a lot. So, yeah, Alexa keeps us straight. She's the other woman. Be quiet, Alexa. She's the other woman in our house now. I actually tried to see. I was kind of hoping she'd respond to Andrea because Andrea is similar to Alexa, but be quiet. But it doesn't. It doesn't. And I'm not sure that I was going to be comfortable calling it Andrea anyways. But the only woman in my house now is that helps keep things straight is that thing over there. So. We're just Christians. We don't like denominations. Even non-denominational is a denomination. We used to be non-denominational, but now non-denominational is a denomination. So we just believe the Bible and think it's true and correct, and that's it. So we take it for what it is and try not to listen to anything else anybody else has to say about it. Melina, I think, is 21. Pretty sure. I think she was born in 98. Yep, ACE is incredible. There's a homeschool guy I used to love listening to named Jay Weil. He's a guy who goes around and does conferences, and he one time gave a bunch of statistics on homeschooling, and he had an insane amount of statistics. And it basically starts out that homeschoolers do 30% better than public school kids on average across the board. And then let's check on parents that have no education themselves, who don't have a high school education, homeschooling their kids at 27% better than the kids. And how about parents that have lots of education? They did 30% better. And the ones that are rich, ones that were poor, ones that use this curriculum, this curriculum, Becca, ACE, Alpha, Omega, all the different curriculums, they all did 30% better. And he goes through, for an hour, he went through all these statistics of every kind of curriculum, whether they did unschooling or regular schooling, or whether they did the classics or classical education or not, or this and that. And the one thing all the homeschooling had in common across the board for everything was the kids did 30% better. And it didn't matter anything. It didn't matter if you were smart, stupid, rich, poor, whatever walk of life you came from. And we love him. And so we love that. We chose AC before we saw Jay Weil. Jay Weil he's not an ACE guy. But ACE is very, very, very parent friendly. If you think you can't homeschool, you can use ACE and you can homeschool. And it's pretty easy. You have to basically watch your kids, make sure they don't cheat, make sure they follow the rules. And sometimes you don't know what they're learning, and you got to learn it too. But the workbook teaches you how to do it. So you just got to read and follow directions and help them learn it. And so my point is if homeschooling it doesn't really matter which curriculum you use and what you do, you might as well use one that makes it easy on the mom, because that's the one that matters. If your mommy's happy, then the house is happy. And so ACE is a really, really simple, easy curriculum to use. The easiest and the simplest. And it's very effective. So that's why we use ACE. Plus it's Christian, which is very, very important to us as well. So maybe I definitely want to start doing live more often. And I hear you guys say that you like it. Makes it hard for me to believe, but makes me just want to keep doing it. We talked about doing live for our church, but the other family comes. I don't know if that's fair to them, and so maybe we'll do a live Bible study instead on another night. That someone else has brought that up, and I think that's a really good idea, and I would love that. And so maybe we'll do that. So. Oh yeah, my homeschooling shirt. I was always the laugh of the homeschool conferences because I'd bring all my homeschooling shirts and wear them. And I have one that says, well, I don't know, you have to have seen it, but it's just a shirt that says, my homeschool kid will be your honor student's boss. And it's just a joke. Lighten up. Some people would get offended by it, but I think it's super funny. And to play off that bumper sticker about my honor student is blah, blah, blah. So that's fun. I've talked about the thing with my first wife before. I don't know how much I want to go into it, but I tried to get custody, and I couldn't get custody. But she was willing to put her up for adoption, and so that's what we did. And my aunt and uncle could not have kids, so it was a blessing for them as well. Well, maybe I'll put one of those Teespring shirts. I thought about that. I actually had a Teespring store for a little while for all my shirts that I did, because first time I wore that shirt, everybody's like, "Oh, I want that shirt." Maybe I'll do that sometime. You guys can get it, but. How do you think each daughter a piece of Andrea's wedding dress sewn into theirs when you get married? Wow, I don't think. No, maybe we do have her wedding dress up in the attic. It's possible we have that. I've never heard of that, sewing a piece of the wedding dress into their wedding dress. Maybe. That's kind of a good idea. Kids go to bed? No, I don't think they did. I think they take advantage of Daddy being up and not policing things. Alexa, broadcast. Everybody go to bed. You heard Alexa. Get off to bed.
Announcing.
Everybody go to bed. You heard Alexa. Get off to bed. Yeah. Non-present. Tom's had to have the whole back table. We do. Yep, we did. It was great. We take up the whole table wherever we go. It's great. Yeah, baby girl?
Some candy corn.
Yes, you can have a pack of candy corn. Whoever sent that candy corn, it's going to be all eaten by Solomon.
Dad?
What?
You
Come here.
was hurting me. And then she hit me.
Fia was hurting you and hitting you?
Yeah.
Does that make you so sad?
Yeah.
Put your phone tablet a little bit.
They all try to get a yell in because Alexa's really good at cutting off their yells, so they try to get one in. Don't pick your nose. What?
Dad,
What?
someone was being mean to me.
You're fine. I think you're totally okay.
Because Ian was being mean to me.
I think
He's kicking me off the bed.
kicking you off her bed. Well, you should be in your bed. Good night, baby girl. I'll go tuck you in and give you some strawberry milk in a minute, okay?
Strawberry milk.
Yep, in just a minute.
Strawberry milk.
Yeah, I'll give you strawberry milk in just a minute.
Do we have one?
We have strawberry milk. I bought strawberry milk the other
Where
night.
was he?
No, just go to bed and I'll get you some strawberry milk in just a minute. I'll probably sign off here before too long, so because I got a little girl who needs some strawberry milk. She always says, "Good night, baby girl." She says, "Daddy, I have strawberry milk. Shake it up." Because we always shake up the strawberry milk in a little sippy cup, and she always says, "Strawberry milk, shake it up." So, yeah, I'll bet you Alexa's tripping. You got to have an Echo Show to do the broadcast feature. That's been the coolest thing we have yet. So you can come on and remind everybody to go to bed across all the Alexas in the house, which is great. I'm glad you liked live game night. We're going to be better about that. Somehow I had XSplit set to 360p quality. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But the quality was rotten. It was very hard to see on the board. I could have stood to have a light on there. I'm probably going to build a rig and put it up on that thing, and we'll have game night more permanently in that location. So that'll happen. But yep, it was good getting to see all you guys too. I probably better go tuck them all in. I'm grateful for the whatever this is, therapy, I suppose, because it was a tough day, and I'm glad that it's okay now. And things are going better. So I think I will, Claudia's pretty great. I think I'll sign off. I appreciate you guys all being here with me. I don't know how many people are on. Man, 1,200 people. That's just insane. So we very much appreciate it, and we thank you for all the things you've sent to us. And I got a newfound appreciation for all the gifts you guys sent us when I was doing Lori's
Bring
box.
our phone and tablet today.
I'm going to go take care of that instead of answering on Alexa. We thank you guys. Appreciate everything you've done for us. We'll see you next time. Okay.